Anyone has an idea what this kind of data, who is this Ralph Kimball or Inmon? Any one of you would have heard in your enterprise environment, or if you're not aware of him, it is good to know who he is. He has a university.
Yeah.
You can.
I have studied in one document, like both of them have written 2 books for data warehousing. So, like both of them have their own thought of presentation, and one follows one approach and the other one follows the other approach. So, yeah, heard like that.
Yeah, they are the 2 people behind inventing or discovering this particular data warehouse technology, or the theory of data warehousing and the terminology in it. So both together researched on this. They are, if I'm not wrong, they are from the Stanford University. And Ralph Kimball is most popular in the market because his data model or his data warehouse model is the one which is in the real-time implementation most of the times. Inmon has the same kind of thoughts, but a little bit of a different implementation, which we would go and look through. The one-liner I can say is Inmon wants us to build an enterprise data warehouse and start building data marts inside it. Whereas Kimball says, no, don't go that. Don't build all the 5 stories at a time. Instead, make the foundation, build the first floor, start living there, build the second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor, which is his approach. So we will see which one will better fit us and the organization. So Ralph Kimball states that the data warehouse is a bottom-up design. The data mart contains primarily dimensions and facts. Facts can contain either atomic data and, if necessary, summarized data. And then the single data mart often model a specific business area such as sales, production. These data marts can eventually be integrated to create a comprehensive data warehouse. The integration of data marts is managed through the implementation of what Kimball calls as a data warehouse bus architecture. So what Ralph Kimball states is, look at the reality, guys. If you are to build a five-storied home, how would you plan to do that? If you plan to build a 5-storied home all at a time and then occupy it, housewarming, everything to be done for 5 floors at a time, will it not take like 2 years for you to complete the 5-story building? The second economical way, which most business and world fits into that, is build your first floor, start staying there, start using it. Then build your second floor, connect them using the stairs. So the first floor and second floor are complete. Second floor can be rented out or used for your office. Then build the third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor. So you are still not losing your investment. You have returns on your investment from the day your first floor is completed and you started using it. That is the Ralph Kimball's approach. So he says, like, build data marts for specific for sales, specific for HR, specific for production, and then connect them with the common dimensions and then make it as an enterprise data warehouse. That is what he recommends us to do. And so he calls it as a bottom-up design, which means construct the first floor, second floor, third floor, and the fifth floor, and call it as a multi-storied building. Whereas Inmon does it a little bit different. Let us look at it first, the Kimball's approach, then we go to the Inmon's approach. The data warehouse bus architecture is primarily an implementation of the bus, a collection of confirmed dimensions and confirmed facts, which are dimensions that are shared between facts in 2 or more data marts. A confirmed dimension is nothing but if it is common between two fact tables. Is sales and production, what is common between them? A product is common between a sales data mart and a production data mart, because the production data mart is talking about producing a product, the sales data mart is talking about selling the same product. If you don't produce something, you can't sell something. It's like that. So to relate between two data marts, you connect them by a common dimension or a confirmed dimension. And if a dimension is used to connect between two data marts, it is called as a confirmed dimension or a common dimension. Same as fact table. If a sales fact table is being shared between the production data mart and the sales data mart, then it becomes a confirmed fact. Now, Bill Inmon states that the data warehouse is a top-down design. He is talking about build the 5th floor first, then do the 4th, 3rd, 2, and 1, occupy everything at a time. Subject-oriented. The data in the data warehouse is organized so that all data elements relating to same real-world event or objects are linked together. So he's asking you to build a linked data warehouse. I mean, have all the data marts. It is more like, if you see in few places, they don't try to build each floor. They try to build the external structure first. So you have the slabs, you have the side walls, you have the staircase to go on to the top of the floor. Still, the internal parts are not complete. That is the same Inmon's approach. And he says it is a non-volatile structure. So once you made the structure, you can't really change the data or the data model itself. And data in the data warehouse are never overwritten or deleted. No deletes. That is correct. Even in Ralph Kimball's approach, it is almost 99% the same way. You can't delete data from a data warehouse. Once committed, the data are static, read-only, and retained for future reporting. The data is more integrated. If a customer is marked as deleted in your data warehouse, you are not going to do a deletion. You'll do a soft deletion, which means you'll mark the record as deleted if at all you don't want that particular one. But in general data warehouse, there are no deletes, there are no soft deletes. Once the data is available there, it is static, it is read-only. You can't make a change in the transaction. You cannot update a transaction. If you say a customer has brought 100 products, that is being registered as 100 products and his total net invoice is $1,000, it stays like that. If you return the goods, there comes one more invoice with a negative amount, which will be accumulating some. So it's like that. So the data warehouse contains data from most of all an organizational operational data store, and data are made consistent. So the data warehouse contains data from most or all of an organizational operational systems. So you have all the source legacy systems, it will get the data from all of them, and the data is made consistent and be available in the data warehouse. It is time variant. The data keeps changing with time, always. You can't make the data with, when we call non-volatile and no deletions, no updates, it doesn't mean that the data is not going to change, which means you keep getting new data. That is always there. The entire data warehouse is not static. The data inside it is static. Top-down design methodology generates high consistent dimensional views of data across data marts, since all the data marts are loaded from the centralized repository. So what he says is build the enterprise data warehouse, populate all these data marts from the same data. With respect to each subject area. As I mentioned, if you are constructing a five multi-storied building, the multi-storied building you are constructing is almost like you are laying out the slabs, you lay out the foundation for 5 floors, you have the pillars for 5 floors, you have the slabs for 5 floors, you have a staircase to connect to all of them. Now you start building inside them each of the dimensional tables, the fact tables. Finally, when you start occupying it, you try to occupy all the 5 buildings, all the 5 floors at a time. That is Inmon's model. In computing, a data warehouse is a database used for reporting and analysis. A data store is, the data stored in warehouse is uploaded from operational systems. The data may pass through an operational data store for additional operation before it is being used in DW for reporting. That is exactly what I depicted in the architecture, that the data warehouse is kind of the data is being imported or being extracted from all your legacy systems, and there is a chance it moves into the operational data store and comes into data warehouse for certain reporting requirements, or it can come directly into a data warehouse without the operational data store, because it is kind of an optional component of the data warehouse. Any questions on this comparison between Ralph Kimball and Inmon, guys?
I have a question here. Is this in reality do we use both, or what is the reason for comparison?
Okay, as I mentioned, in the real time, whatever I have seen so far, I worked on 3 data warehouse projects. Everywhere it is the Kimball model.
Okay.
Inmon model is kind of an expensive one to work with.
Okay. So in what scenarios do we use Inmon, and when what scenarios you go for Kimball?
If you are a $1 billion company, starting your business all at a time with operating systems, data warehouse, everything in one place.
Okay.
So you can go for Inmon model, where operational system is available for every of your business modules, and data warehouse is also available. There is kind of echoing, it is a little bit disturbing, guys. I think 2 of the computers are on or something. Okay, so does it make sense, whatever I am telling? Like, it is more or less like this. One is, as I mentioned, you are building a 5-storied, you are constructing a 5-storied building. If you already occupied the first floor, and if the second floor is in construction, there can be a lot of disturbance. But if Ambani or Sachin Tendulkar builds a building, he don't start living in the first floor and build his second floor. He will allow enough time to complete the entire building, do a grand housewarming, and get in. That's the Inmon approach. Did I answer your question?
Yes, it's clear now. So basically, a startup company will usually go for a Kimball, which is a small organization.
A startup company in general will not have a data warehouse itself. It will start only with the operational systems. Once they wanted to really go and analyze the data and improve their business, then they will start constructing data warehouse. That is correct. And then they will not do an enterprise data warehouse at a time. They will say, I have 3 departments, but the most important thing is I want to see how my products are selling. So they will build a sales data mart.
Okay.
And then after the sales data mart, they feel, okay, the reports coming out of sales data mart are helping us. We are able to increase the sales. Let us go and do the same kind of data mart on top of production data to analyze the products in the market, trends in the market, which product is taking, how long it is taking to complete a product, how long it is, how many goods we are shipping, how is the inventory, how is the demand on the product. But whether you do sales or product, it is about an item, which is a manufacturing good that you have produced in your plant. So you can still tie them together. So in the SAP world, we are talking about material and customer. Okay, that's how it comes. So if there are no questions, I'll go to the next slide, or if you have questions, please go for it, guys. You need to be very clear on these data warehousing concepts, so you can confidently build your data mart and a data warehouse when we go into the practical sessions. That will be, tomorrow will be a practical session where I would start showing you how to use this ETL tool, and we would take an example of retail data mart side to side, and we start building the data warehouse. Okay, though silence is violent. Silence is really violent. When you say silent, which means you would have misunderstood me, or or I would not communicate properly. If you don't understand me completely, we're okay. But if you misunderstand me, is the problem. So I'm trying to be very clear on that. So what are the benefits of a structured data warehouse? This is what is important, right? We have to understand the benefits of a data warehouse. That is the reason it is being built. A data warehouse maintains a copy of the information from source systems. The architectural complexity provides the opportunity to maintain data history even if the source transaction system do not. Because not all the source systems are capable of maintaining the history of last 10 years or 20 years. Though there are some systems which could maintain, the performance is really low. So everyone started cutting down because the customers are more, now the data is too much. When the data is too much, you send a request to the database, it has its own problems. It is like, look at a man, he has only 2 hands. And if he uses a computer brain, even it has even the limitation of the CPU and memory. So if you are giving him unlimited work, he cannot really handle it. That's the way it is. So you have this architecturally complex data model which is competent to hold the history data. And then integrate data from multiple source systems, enabling a central view across the enterprise. That is what is very much required, right? You have 3 different companies, or you have 3 different business processes like sales, production, and marketing. You want it to see, because it is under one umbrella, though they are maintained in 3 different systems and you are expanded across the world, the CEO doesn't want to go fly to Europe, fly to US to get a small report or wait for a report, and then he has to do a bisection or compare, put 10 reports side to side, and then understand how much he invested, how much profit he made, what is lagging, what is leading. No, he wants everything to be in a single report, by state, by country, by continent, and by region, by product. All this can be achieved using a data warehouse. So integrate data from multiple source systems, enabling a central view across the enterprise. That is what is the intention of a data warehouse. And if you could make that real, business will what is it? Business will be very happy about it. They want this kind of a report. They want a single view of the data, and it should be consistent across the organization. The benefit is always valuable, but particularly so when the organization has grown by merger. You know, the data warehouse, one other popular reason is, now you see a business buying other business. For example, Facebook has bought a couple of applications yesterday. Apple has purchased several other applications a couple of weeks back. So there are mergers. When there is a merge, there are new customers getting added. So how would you integrate your enterprise? Move the data. You have to migrate the data into one system, or you have to migrate the entire data into a data warehouse. Only then you know what is the capacity of your organization, or else you would be led to the siloed environment. No one knows what a particular component of business does, or a particular business by itself is living as standalone. How to integrate with it is, integrate the data, the business can be merged. So when the mergers happen, we are all safe, because United States business takeovers, mergers happen very frequently. And so the data warehousing projects are very popular only in United States. Nowhere else in the world you can see this number of data warehousing and business intelligence projects. So the mergers keep happening. The developers are required to move the data. So improve data by providing consistent code and description, flagging or even fixing bad data. So that is the one important benefit, guys. You have 3 source systems. You know, when you do an order on Amazon.com, how many would have? How many of you have ordered on Amazon.com? Can someone tell me if there is one person at least who has not purchased a product from Amazon? So silence says everyone would have purchased. So you go there and put your shipping address. Immediately Amazon guys, they will recommend You have inputted this address, but our system says this is the right address. Do you want to use the original or the one which we recommend? Because there is a process they have put in there. It can fix the bad data, which means if you did not provide the apartment number, it will ask you, do you have an apartment number? You have given the street address wrongly spelled. You are in hurry. You will be providing a wrong zip code, but they are the ones who has to take care of it so that they reduce the errors. They reduce the shipping the products to a wrong address. How are they doing all this? By increasing the data quality. The same kind of a quality can be performed on the historical data also, because Amazon can process only the current data like that. But what about its history? It would have delivered several products. It would have manufactured several products so far. It has millions of customers, and the history also has to be fixed in the same way. So data warehouse will help you to really fix that bad data and then make your business some consistent approach to contact the customer or to give him an offer, or to the entire reason is get more return on investment. So you would have invested something on business, you would now see there are competitors. How could I make my business better? That's the purpose of data warehouse. So present the organization information consistently. The consistency is very important. What it means by consistency is, if you want the chicken curry, it should not be like too spicy, too mild, too salty, too sweet. Kitchen should be cooked tender. All makes it consistent. So organization can trust in you if you deliver it consistently, the same recipe every time. You should not keep changing every day. One day it looks salty, one day it looks half cooked, half boiled. Then the customers are not going to trust you. So present the organization information consistently, which a data warehouse can do it, because you have already fixed the data issues before moving the data into data warehouse. Provide a single common data model for all data of interest regardless of the data sources. So whatever the data that you are interested in, it is already available in data warehouse and you can provide. And if you say no, for example, you are five different families living here. If a husband asks wife, can you cook a good chicken curry for me? Then if the wife answers, actually the chicken is in market and the masala powder is in a grocery store, we have to pull those together to make a chicken curry, then you will be very unhappy about it. So in a data warehouse, everything is available there because it's a warehouse. You not only have chicken, you do have the masalas that are required. You have the kitchen there. It is already cooked and then delivered. It is like that. So provide a single common data model for all data of interest regardless of data sources. You don't need to worry about going to a different source to pull out the data. You don't need to ask your wife to go to the next door, get some tomatoes or onions to cook the recipe. So it's like that. Restructure the data so that it makes sense for the business users. Why are we building all these data warehouses for the business? So the business will look at it as a metric. They want analysis on the data. Don't present it half-cooked item to a customer. It is the same way. Don't really present bad data to the business or without a metric, without proper scale. I mean, when you provide a pie chart or a bar chart, you should put what kind of units that you are using in the line chart or bar chart. Only then it makes sense for them. So restructure the data so that it makes sense for the business users. So if you are putting numbers, if you are global, if you are present across the globe and you have a lot of conversions, so you convert, if you give a report saying we have the total revenue of 4,50,000 in India and you are saying 450,000 in USA, they get confused because the number looks similar, but there is a 50 times more value for the dollar than the rupee. So you are the one who has to convert, integrate, and say this is one single point where you have trusted data. Okay. And then restructure the data so that it delivers excellent query performance even for complex analytical queries without impacting the operational system. So that is what is very important. This is for the business, not just for the customer who is visiting. It is for your own growth. And then add value to operational business applications, notably like the CRM systems. So CRM system is one important system now everyone is implementing, and one of the most popular cloud solutions is Salesforce.com. It is a CRM application. So data moves in and out of data warehouse into a CRM system. Data comes into the CRM system. You know, customer is the most important data element for any business. If you have customers, no matter what the products you are selling, you will make money. So add value to the operational business applications like CRM. So your data warehouse can add value by giving some master data, all the customer information properly.
Is there I think there are three parts, right? CRM, ECC, and MDM. So are these three different on the same track? Can we compare them, or?
No, they are three different things, and they are for a different business purpose. And
okay,
ECC system is more okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just wanted to know about these three because you uttered the word CRM, customer. So it is one target system. So can we take it as a target system, one target system?
A CRM system can be a source or a target.
Okay. So ECC is ECC is one more different one. So CRM is one such kind of target system. Okay.
Correct. So you see, ECC system is enterprise resource planning system, where if you have a manufacturing unit, you are trying to plan to maintain proper inventory, maintain a warehouse for your raw material, and then manufacture a finished good and then ship it out. After you ship it out, it has to be the CRM system, most probably, who has to take care of promoting it to the customer, letting the customer know that you are selling this product, and so the CRM system comes in there. It is more like the ERP is being tightly coupled now with the CRM system, because SAP also came up with a CRM system within their landscape. Earlier, the popular CRM system used to be Kimball. And in the same way, why is this MDM so popular? Every day we are using master data management. What does it mean? So is not the ECC system can maintain the master data? Yes, it can. But when there is an integration of more than one applications like the ERP, CRM, and HCM, you need MDM. Because MDM is the one which, if you have some systems outside the SAP landscape, then MDM helps you to master the data. If it is inside the landscape, you are using every product that is been that is being given by SAP. You are inside the landscape. You can use MDG. If you don't have too many systems, outside systems that are getting integrated with SAP, then the most popular tool within SAP landscape is MDG, Master Data Governance. Got it, guys?
Yes.
Perfecto. And we have almost reached the last point. Yay! You are able to withstand for 3 hours or 4 hours of my stone voice, rock voice. Anudeep, you are enjoying. I listen. I hear you. So yeah, let us know if you have more questions. I'm ready to take, or else what we will do is we will go and look at tomorrow's agenda or tomorrow's slide, the basic information to it. It is you'll be working on top of it. So let me show you my server and also the agenda for tomorrow, and we'll call it a day. Here, do you see my screen? In which you see the SAP Business Objects Data Services. Guys, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So This one is like a remote desktop. From your computer, if you dial MSTSC or you go to your start menu, and in the programs, in accessories, you do have the remote desktop. You can go it from here even, and we would provide you an IP address and a port number which you can connect. It is just like in your office environment how you do a remote desktop. The same environment is being provided to you, and each of you will have a private login. You need not share the logins. You have your 24-hour access separately for your own repository, and here is the one you have to go and connect. SAP Business Objects Data Services 4.0, in which you go to Data Services Designer, and we will provide you with a username and password, your own private username and password. And please, I put a disclaimer here, don't share the information to some external entity, because once they start accessing the system, if something goes wrong, it is very tough for me to fix because I'm sitting remotely here. If they are experts, then there is no issue. If they don't know something and they corrupt your repository, it takes a lot of time for me to repair it again. Nagendra, like you got dropped off and you dialed in back. I'm going ahead with actually the remote server, how we are going to provide you and all. So do you have any questions on data warehouse so far, whatever the presentation I had?
No, not for today.
Okay. And so I'm trying to show the remote server which you will all be getting access by tomorrow. So you will, Anudeep share it. What is it? Could you share the PPT as well? The PPT will never be given out. It is my bread and butter, guys. How can I give the PPT to you? I'm giving you enough videos, and if people ask me, give away your material, that's not going to be something which I can do. Sorry about it. Okay, so if you get into the server, this is how it is going to be. Let us do all at a time, and I'm going to share my entire desktop. I close my personal stuff and then show you 1 second, because I have my email box open and I don't want to show. Like here, I already got connected, but let me close this and how you have to connect, because once we are in class, I don't want to spend 20-30 minutes again to show you how we will connect. So you go to your run, the command prompt or the run button there, and type it as MSTSC. You get this. And then this is the computer which you are going to connect. You will all have the same IP, 122.175.36.122. Don't make a note of it. We will send you a document for that. And then click on connect. Here I am logging in as administrator. You will have your own accounts. Every account starts with a Z. So Z Cloud 2. You will be given a password. Okay. After you have been given a password, you get a certificate error, or it will ask you to accept the certificate. Then after that, you are into our system, and in the system you have SAP login, you have data services, you have business intelligence, you have database, everything for you. So we'll make sure that you have access to all the modules that are being installed and that are required by you. See here, you have the database, you have data services, you have the BI platform, everything available for you. There is that SAP MDM, because myself I am not an SAP MDM specialist, or I don't have the complete knowledge about it. I'm going not to deal with it. So I teach something which I know about. So MDM is not still 100% known to me, so I'm not going to deal with it. So Z Cloud 2, and you will be supplied the password, and you will use the authentication always is the enterprise. I will tell you what this SAP and LDAP Windows authentication is, but currently we have built up the system with enterprise authentication. Once you click on Logon, you get your repository here. Select the repository and say OK. Okay, already I have logged in as zCloud2 on the other side. Where if you get this kind of a screen, reset user or continue, always use a reset user. Which means there is another user who already is using this repository. He will be thrown out of the repository and you will have access. Because I'm giving you a private account, though the usernames and passwords sometimes you can easily guess because we are making it so simple. So try to log in only to your repository. Don't take other repositories and try to corrupt it. This is the environment which you will work on. Tomorrow we will see, if not tomorrow, we will be given a very good orientation about what this each object and everything is about. I have very beautiful presentations. I will show you all that. And you are going to start building a data mart. So what data mart are we going to build? It is always a retail sales data mart where we all can understand it. So let me pull out the presentation and then we will call it a day. So in the personal, in training clouds, yeah, here is my session for tomorrow. So this one is more dealing with, this is the data mart. If you now look at it closely, this is what we are going to do. Compare the data warehouse and operational data store. We'll give a clean technical comparison between operational data and the data warehouse. And you'd also see the dimensional model vocabulary. What is a fact table? What is a dimension table? What is a data model? You'll see all that in tomorrow's session. Parallelly, we can go so far for 4 hours tomorrow, and then you will start only working with a few things like a text file tomorrow, and then we would go from there and we'll be doing retail data mart parallelly with the data services, so that it is not going to be totally theoretical, it will be practical. We'll talk about a dimension, you are going to build the dimension. We are going to talk about a fact, you are going to build your own fact table. You'll all be provided with beautiful environment. All their practical environment, whatever we use in the enterprise, in an organization, it is the same setup, you will have it here. You will have a central repository. If you want to exchange your work with your colleague, treat each of the student participating as your own colleague. I'm trying to stimulate the practical environment so when you get into the companies, you'll not face any issues. Whatever you see here, you'll see the same thing there. So it's a promise on my side. If I have anyone not able to understand my terminology, or if I'm going in on high speed, please let me know. I can slow down or I can make it more effective and interactive. It is your time now. You tell me if you love the session today, we go in the same pace, or if you want me to correct anything, please let me know. Any concerns, questions? If not, any complaints, compliments? Again, silence is violent, guys. Please. All is well. Okay.
I like the session very much, and I have a few questions where I feel that those are very basic, and can I contact you with email, because most of them here are experienced guys, and I'm
no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Nagendra. Any question at this point is not dumb question. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Those experienced folks, it is always good if they listen to the question, because I have only a grain of knowledge. Trust me. Whatever I worked would have been very limited. If a question you ask is out of my bucket, some of them can take it up. And I am very sportive. I'm not worried. I can't say I'm master of everything.
Okay.
I know end to end what I work, but put out the question. Someone can help us if we don't think.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah, I'm like, I share my knowledge and I gain my knowledge all from sharing it.
Okay.
So be positive and ask any question confidently, no worries.
Okay. I don't have any questions for today, but in future if I have any, so I just wanted to make sure.
Sure. Even remaining people will get benefited, because today we have Arvind on the call. He is asking some very crucial questions for you to understand. So that helps. So it is for the entire crowd, it is going to be very helpful if you put out the question aloud in the session. Okay, then that's all for today, guys. And thank you for participating in the session for today. And I hope you'll come back tomorrow to bear me more. So we'll have, I mean, I would not hesitate to share any piece of knowledge that I have. And I would make sure to make it even more interactive. And I would also introduce a new other trainer tomorrow who will also be engaging you on the practical sessions most probably, because to be, I mean, I just wanted to mention that guy is, his name is Sudhir Goda. He has 10 years of experience, and he is going to be like me or even better than me when technical part is concerned. So he is also working on data warehousing projects using ETL tools, and he will be there live online. You can email me or him. We'll be taking care of even supporting you after you get onto the project. So I'm trying to engage more people into it. So when you get onto the project, you want some help, immediately one of us will take and then help you. So that guy will also be able to show you everything on data service. My presentations will be very useful for you to gain knowledge end to end. And he is also a very practical person. He has his own blog. If you try going to his blog, just look for Sudhir Goda. You'll see him. He has many followers. In the same way, I do have my YouTube channel, as I always mention. You have these data warehouse classes already available there. I have posted them for free. All the 40 classes that were from my earlier batches last year, they came up really, really good. You go and watch them, and they are available. I mean, we'll keep posting the same batch classes that you have listened today, but it takes at least 24 hours to 48 hours of time to process those videos and to make them available on YouTube. But if at all you wanted to go and watch my previous videos, you can still do that. So if you go to trainingclouds.com, go to the day one of data warehousing. It has the same story like we had. And in the earlier batches, I used to teach only data warehousing, no data migration. So I have spent more time even when teaching data warehouse concepts. So it will be really, really useful. It is the same kind of a presentation. It doesn't make any difference. It's the same except the template changed. So you see this one, a data warehouse, day one, how to build a data warehouse. And immediately you get the video.
What we are going to see is data warehouse, but with a little bit of sense of humor and added glamour.
So you see here right side, data day one, day three, day two, the same data warehouse related videos are here. They are absolutely on public access. Go watch it. Many people benefited out of it. And if you look at the comments, people are very much happy about the way I'm trying to teach this data warehouse concept. But it keeps improving every day to day. I keep improving my content and the way I take the classes. So please feel free to send your comments or complaints or appreciation, anything. You can post on the video, or you can send me a private email. I'll be more than happy to look at it. So if you don't have any more questions, we'll call it a day, and we'll catch up tomorrow, guys.